It was a drumline piece. We have a lot of marching drums that we've acquired, so we're using those a lot. That was, midway through the year. So first, let me go over the various ensembles. Okay. So it gets a little confusing because there's a lot of different ones. Okay. The beginning percussion ensemble is for fourth graders. Okay, so the majority of us here are fourth graders, don't have any experience, maybe a little bit outside of school, and you guys will be the fourth grade beginning percussion ensemble. Okay, this year I wasn't able to put the other grades, if they hadn't started yet, into beginning because it really conflicts with scheduling. Okay, speaking of scheduling, this group, the fourth grade group, meets Tuesday mornings here at 7:45 to about 8:25. So I dismiss them in time to be on time for class. Okay, so that's before school. It's every Tuesday morning. Okay, it's really important that we start right then. So 7:45 is when we start. And we also meet on Fridays at the end of the day. So I take them the last 20 minutes of the school day, and then I dismiss them 15 minutes after dismissal. Okay, so I take them at the end of the school day where it doesn't really interfere too much with classwork and that kind of thing. And then they're here for an extra 15 minutes, and then you come pick them up from me and I dismiss them to you that way. So twice a week on that. And that's the fourth grade beginning percussion ensemble. Okay? The other percussion ensemble group we have is the fifth grade, the advanced percussion ensemble. Okay, this consists of students who've been in the beginning one before. So fifth graders who were in it last year, sixth graders who've been in it, seventh graders and that kind of thing. They meet Thursday mornings, 7:45 before school, just like that, just once a week. However, on occasion, sometimes I ask them to come in on Tuesday mornings before school and rehearse themselves kind of outside. Like before we did the Manteca parade, I asked that the advanced guys come in also on Tuesday mornings and kind of work on the drumline stuff outside. So, but that's very rare, and if there's a conflict, you just can't make it for that, that's okay. That's just kind of an extra thing we might do. But Thursday mornings is the advanced group. Okay. Speaking of the advanced groups, the advanced members play with the band as well. So the fifth grade percussionists will play with the beginning band in the concerts. Okay, so they're actually in two groups. They're in the beginning or the advanced percussion ensemble, and they are in the beginning band. Okay, so what happens is Mr. Koss rehearses them with the band during music time. So it really doesn't affect your schedule at all. It shouldn't. There shouldn't be any extra rehearsals or anything like that. The sixth graders in the advanced percussion ensemble are also, they will be in my sixth grade advanced band. They come during sixth grade music time. Again, there's no other scheduling after school, before school. It's all during school for that. So it's pretty seamless. And then the junior hires will also, they are part of the wind ensemble band. That is their elective. So they're also percussion ensemble and band. Okay? But the fourth graders are just in beginning percussion ensemble. But it's a great way to groom them to get ready for next year when they're eligible for beginning band. Okay? So those are the different groups. And then parents that were here before, you guys all know about the reflection forms and scheduling and all that. Okay, then one last thing. Materials, let's go over the materials. Okay, that's on page 8. They don't really need a whole lot. They don't have to rent an instrument. What I require every student to get is a pair of drumsticks. Can you guys hear me in the back? There's kind of a lot of whispering going on. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay. Preferably the smaller ones, okay? Because they're younger, they're smaller kids. So my favorite is Vickford 7A. Or if you see any that are they'll call it jazz for jazz, okay, because those are usually a lighter stick. They work out well for that if you can get a smaller stick. I also have drumsticks in here. They're not the greatest, but each student needs a pair so they can practice at home and then get used to them when they're here. Okay. They also need a practice pad. Okay. Now this is what they practice with at home. Okay. And it's really cool. It feels just like a drum, and you're gonna love it because it's not so loud. Okay. They're not gonna be playing the drums. Okay. Instead of how loud drums can be. So I know a lot of you guys are really concerned with loud drums in your house all the time. With the practice pad, it does that. And it'll allow them to practice with that. I really encourage you to get one that has a stand because it makes it so much easier for the kid to get the proper height. So, here they are just by themselves. So you can buy this by itself. I think I put prices and some good brands there. And then, the student will need to make sure it's at their ideal height, because if they're practicing like this or like this, it's really going to mess them up. And it's hard when they come to band or rehearsals. I don't have enough stands for everyone, so then some are down. It's tricky. So if you can, spend a little extra to get one with the stand. I put a couple good brands on here. I really like the Remo ones. There's a combo pack on Amazon for $65. It's a lot of money, but it's all you're gonna need to buy for the whole year. And if they're in percussion next year, that kind of thing. I'm not requiring a book this year for the beginning percussion. Okay. One practice pad I would avoid getting, just out of experience. A lot of people got these ones last year. I think they're a little less money on Amazon. It's the Hisonics Signature Series. They don't work well. They don't have the feel that they need. They're just kind of like a big chunk of rubber. And they came with a stand. I think that's what attracted a lot of people to them. They kept falling off, and the kid got really frustrated. The students got really frustrated, and I did too, because they didn't have a good one. So please avoid this one if you can. All the local music stores will carry drum pads. Okay, a lot of them screw in right here. Okay, they have a screw on the bottom and it comes with the stand. Others don't have a screw on the bottom, but you could buy something like this, a drum pad stand. Okay. The other thing that they need is their music folder, which I will give them, and I'm going to give them sheet music throughout the year that they need to keep track of. Okay. All right, so those of you who were in the group last year, if you guys want to take off, you can take off. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you coming. The rest of it's kind of just new stuff that you probably know already. All right, so back to materials. It's also great. I put other beneficial materials. They're not required, but a lot of the kids, they want a real drum. You don't need to get them one. You can stick with the practice pad. That's completely fine. But if they really want a drum, what you can do is get them a snare drum. Okay, this is the drum that we pretty much work on the most. If you find one that's used, that works fine too. You can get a real good deal on one used if you want. What's nice about these is if they really take to it and they want to get a drum set later, all drum sets have a snare, so it's one piece for that. But I would hold off on buying a drum set at least a year until you know they're really, really into it. But you don't need it, but if they do happen to get one, then you can put, some of them even come with this, like a little foam pad you can put on the drum that also deadens the sound and works like the practice pad. And then you use bass drums a lot. If you'd like, it would be cool if students could have their own pair of bass drum mallets. We don't have a whole lot and they're not in the greatest shape, so that might be a nice thing for a kid to have his own personal ones, but not necessary. It's also wise to get a small bag, little duffel bag for them to keep their folder, their sticks, and their practice pad in, because they'll need to bring that to school, and it'll also keep them from maybe forgetting it or things like that. I really emphasize small, because if they're really big bags, then I got to try to put them somewhere, and it just becomes tricky. So please, no big rolly suitcases. You can avoid it. Okay. Another beneficial material that I would recommend is getting a metronome or a metronome app. Okay. A metronome is that little thing that ticks. You know, the old ones used to go back and forth for keeping a steady tempo. Nowadays, you don't have to go to a music store and spend $30 on one. You can get a free one or one for $1 on the App Store. Okay. One of the biggest things we work on with percussion students is keeping a steady tempo. It's really important that they keep a steady tempo, and that's the best way to do it. Okay, is to just practice and try to hit the beep every time. Okay, so you can get them an app on their phone. It's a great thing to have them do. Okay, when it comes time to the performances, there's different parts. You know, each kid's going to play. Each student might play a different part. I'm usually going to give the bigger, more responsible parts to the students that have a good sense of tempo. Okay, for obvious reasons. So it's wise to get a metronome app. There's a lot of different ones out there. I think they're all just fine. All right. All right, back toward the beginning. Major events. Okay. So this is a performing ensemble, and we do play quite a bit. Okay. We might do the Manteca Holiday Parade, but that would just be the advanced group. So that wouldn't be the fourth graders. But the winter concert, fourth grade beginning percussion will play probably just one song at the winter concert. Okay. Right now we're working on getting a facility, or finding out a facility to use for that night. We don't currently have one here for the winter. Okay. So plan on that. As soon as I get the date, I'll send it to you so you can save that date. It's really important. Okay. We also have a spring